Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another video of Let's Talk Chelsea. Today's video, we talk about whether Chelsea can get top 5 and secure the Champions League spot. Luckily, there's 5 positions this year, because if there was 4, you've got no chance. So we're going to break down the fixtures of everybody contending for the Champions League spots. We're going to talk about who the key players are, and then I will give my opinion on whether Chelsea are going to get it or not. So, before we get into the video, if you could like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below whether Chelsea are going to get top 5. Oh, I hope so. Imagine, right, spending all of this money that we do, was it like 1.6 billion over 3 years at this point, and we can't even make top 5. Oh man, it's craziness. It is honestly craziness. But the last 2 games, we've had a bit of hope. We beat Fulham 2-1, where 80 odd minutes in that game, we were awful. We were absolutely awful. But against Everton, we were much better. We had a goalkeeper who made 2 saves, which I thought he had no hands, to be honest with you. So, Robert Sanchez, welcome to the season. It's only your first game in about 30 bloody games that you've done anything, so that's cool. And then Jackson scored, which he hasn't done anything for about 14 games. Lavia started after being out injured. I did a video on Lavia, whether I think he'll be the game changer for Chelsea. I think he will be. If we can keep him fit, then we've got a chance. We actually may have a chance, and that's just down to not through tactics, not through like Enzo Maresca ball. That is through individual brilliance from our players. So, listen, as you can see on the screen, our fixtures are tough. We got Liverpool, Newcastle, Man United, and Nottingham Forest. Liverpool, congratulations on the Premier League. That makes me very, very disappointed to say that. I'm not gonna lie. For everybody that knows, Liverpool were big rivals of ours in the Champions League. The Jose Mourinho era, the Rafa Benitez when we used to face them, the Gerrard slip. That we are huge rivals, and it pains me to my soul that we're going to have to give Liverpool a guard of honour because they won the Premier League. Now, out of respect, it's the right thing to do, but my God, it's disgusting to do. It is disgusting. And even just thinking about it now, I don't know if I want to watch the game. But, saying that, how exciting is this top 5 race for this Champions League spot? It's more exciting than the teams in relegation. They did nothing all year, apart from Ipswich that took 4 points away from us, but we don't want to talk about that. And then the top 2, Liverpool just been cruise control the whole year. No pressure from anybody. They turned up at a great time. So, yeah, we shall see. So I'm going to break down Chelsea's the fixtures. So starting with Liverpool. Now, I know people will be saying, oh, Liverpool won the league, so, they're obviously going to be celebrating and they're going to be drinking. I don't think that's the case at all. I think Liverpool are going to rock up. They're going to be on such a high. I know they've won the league, but that rivalry, it means something to Chelsea. So it's got to mean something to Liverpool, even if it's just bragging rights. So, yeah, I don't see us winning that game, which, if I'm honest with you, I hate saying, but I don't see us winning that game. I think a draw in that game, or it's like a 1-1 or a 2-2. But for me, as long as we don't lose and we're still gaining points, I think we've got a chance. But I think we have to win like 3 of the 4 next games, or something. Do you know what I mean? Something like that, just to secure the spot. The big ones. So the next one is Newcastle, as you can see there. Massive game. That is honestly a massive game. And Newcastle, they've already won a trophy this year, so they're on a high. So they got that trophy. Could you imagine the season they've had? Like they could have if they win the trophy, and it's their first time in 70 years, and then they literally get Champions League spot. That's a great achievement for Newcastle. Like an absolutely great achievement. So that's going to be a high pressured game. We're at Newcastle's ground, I believe, which again, St. James's Park, the atmosphere is going to be nuts. Did this test the mentality of the Chelsea players? They're very young. Our only leader, Reece James, has obviously beef with Enzo Maresca because he can't get a kick of the ball, which that's another topic for another day. So, yeah. But Newcastle, as you can see, they got some difficult ones. Brighton, they could drop points. Arsenal, they could drop points. Even Everton, there's no easy games there for Newcastle. No easy games. So, and then Chelsea, Man United. Now, United have been awful in the league, but for some reason, they always turn up against Chelsea. Probably, again, some sort of rivalry. It's annoying, but they do rock up. There's been some great games, as you can remember, the 4-3 last year with Cole Palmer scoring like right at the end under Pochettino. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. And then our final fixture is Nottingham Forest. Again, they've been phenomenal this year. Absolutely phenomenal. Like, considering like last year they were pretty much dead and buried and they got out of relegation and stuff like that, to then go all the way up. They were third for however long, then they dipped off a little bit, but they're still winning games. They're still fighting for that Champions League spot. So it's gonna be let's just put it this way. Chelsea have it in their hands. We know what we need to do. We need to win our games. And the teams we're going up against, if we beat them, it gives us a chance to leapfrog them. Gives us a chance to bridge the gap, or like, do you know what I mean? Like, create a gap between us and them in the Champions League running. So 4 massive, massive games against some high-profile teams. And then, as you can see, Villa, they got Fulham, Bournemouth, Tottenham, and Man United. Fulham, very strong. They're pushing for a Europe spot, but they may have just run out of time. Bournemouth, a solid team. Very physical, very fit. That's Semenyo. Evan Nilsson, who I don't know if he'll be out. He got a red card against United. They got a goalkeeper in Kepa. He's on Chelsea's books still. Feels like he hasn't been at the club for about 10 years at this point. So yeah, again, it's gonna be difficult. It's gonna be difficult. So we shall see if they turn up. Because you know they've got a run of fixtures which are tricky teams. Like, obviously every team in the Premier League's tricky, but I just think Chelsea's is the most difficult. Such high-profile teams, and most of those teams are battling. Like, they're like 5th and above or 6th and above, apart from United. But that's funny to see. So yeah, it's like, I can't believe how like this top 5 is going to be crazy. And then Villa, they've got Tottenham, which again, Tottenham and Man United, they're very much teams that in the league they're dreadful. But then they go into Europe and they keep winning. Maybe it's the standard, I don't know, of Europe, but it's crazy. And then Nottingham Forest have Brentford, Palace, Leicester, West Ham, and Chelsea. Brentford, tough game. You never know what Brentford team's going to turn up. Palace again. You never know. There's a lot of fixtures. And then Man City have Wolves, Southampton. And they got an FA Cup in there at some point. Those dates were wrong then, I think. I think that said the 17th when it's like... And the 17th and 18th, was that? I think that was wrong. But, yeah, I think... For me, I think the top four is going to be... Obviously, Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City, Newcastle, and then I'm being optimistic. I'm going to go Chelsea. I am going to go Chelsea, but a big but is we control our own destiny. We control our own destiny, but I don't think I don't think we do it. And then it's another poor season under this ownership we have. So, yeah, we're looking at Nottingham Forest have West Ham, Leicester as well. So Leicester are gone, and West Ham are in a bit of a crisis under Graham Potter, the pot dog. And then, yeah, Man City, the 17th and 18th of May. I mean, if they want to play a day after, for the Premier League, I'd take that. But, yeah, something's going to be moved there. I don't know what's going on there. And then Newcastle have Brighton, Chelsea, Arsenal and Everton. So, yeah, massive things. Massive games. Very exciting. You know, Premier League has been boring with like Man City constantly winning it and stuff like that. So I'm very happy about that. So going on to my next point. The key players for Chelsea. Now, first one, Nicholas Jackson. Nicholas Jackson has to push on now. He has to push on. He got his goal. I'm happy for him, but if he wants to be the main striker at Chelsea, this is his time to prove it now. There's some big games there against some big clubs. If he can get goals against those clubs, maybe there's a different light we see him in. But if he doesn't score, that means he wouldn't have scored in like the Premier League, like out of the 38 games, or whatever it is, 37 games. He wouldn't have done it for like half of it, which is not good enough. Not good enough at all. Half, maybe more, to be honest. So, if Chelsea, like the bare minimum should be Champions League. So if we can't get a striker to score our goals, then unfortunately you're not a Chelsea player. So he's the main one. Second one is Cole Palmer. I don't know what's going on with Cole Palmer. I don't think he likes the Maresca ball. I don't think many people do, to be honest. There's been rumours that he's injured. A couple of games now, he's been like limping off. So if he's injured, I'd rather him just sit out for a couple of games. Like, they must be like proper injecting him or something, but he doesn't look himself. And there's no harm in dropping him. We have other players. This is what we spent like 1.6 billion on. So surely we have someone who can just replace him for a couple of games. Who knows? Who knows, to be honest with you. And then my final... Well, not my final. There's probably a couple more. So Lavia, he's going to be massive. I think he takes off a lot of pressure from Caicedo, which is huge. Caicedo runs around that pitch so much, and he does so much for us defensively. Imagine having Lavia next to him now, and then Caicedo free to do whatever he wants. Amazing. That'll be fantastic. And then my final one, Reece James. Get our captain on that pitch. He is our leader. He is our main man. He's won trophies. He knows Chelsea in and out. He's a Cobham boy. Get him on the pitch. Get him on the pitch. I don't mean little cameo appearances. I don't mind if he comes off. But at the start of the game, I want him on the pitch, setting the standard. letting Chelsea know this is what we expect. Reece James is our captain. He is our captain. We love him to death. Now, obviously, we've all heard rumours about us selling him, which, oh man, could you imagine the riot and the scenes if that happens? But I don't want to speak about that right now. I'm sure that'll be another video down the line where we're all raging and launching stuff. So, yeah. So those are my key players. I would say the goalkeeper as well, but obviously it's a massive position, but yeah, it's just not good enough anyway, so it is what it is, isn't it? So those are my key players. We got Reece James, Lavia, Cole Palmer, and Jackson. That is your spine. That is the spine of the team. Everybody else is interchangeable, I believe, other than maybe Chalobah. Everybody else is interchangeable. So we shall see. As I said, I'm being optimistic. I think Chelsea can get 5th. But our fixtures are hard. Let me know what you think. If you could like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below whether you think Chelsea are going to get top 5. Up the Chelsea!